In the wacky world of football transfers, every fan eagerly awaits the next big signing that could elevate their team to new heights. And for us Chelsea fans, that anticipation is no different. From big money moves to surprise stars, Chelsea have had a whole host of signings in recent times, and with multiple positions still needing reinforcement, speculation is rife about which stars might soon don the iconic blue jersey. I'm Mono from Mono CFC, and these are 5 possible shock signings for Chelsea Football Club. Number 1. Viktor Gyökeres. Being in the market for a pure clinical finisher, Viktor Gyökeres has been fast-tracked at the top of the list of transfer targets for Chelsea Football Club. The Swedish-born striker has been tearing it up in Portugal for Sporting, scoring 36 goals and bagging 14 assists in 39 games in all competitions this season. That's 1.28 goal contributions per game, or 1.41 per 90, an astonishingly high number, rivaling some of the world's best centre-forwards such as Lautaro Martinez, Erling Haaland, and Harry Kane. The ex-Coventry striker has made a name for himself this season both in the league and other domestic competitions, with Sporting on track to win the league title, as well as looking likely to get to the final of the Taça de Portugal, with the big Swede leading the charge. If we look at his stats more in depth, you get to really see where he shines. Of course, he's a fantastic finisher, as the top stats suggest, but his main strength comes by way of those bottom stats. Comparing him to every forward in the top 5 leagues over a period of 365 days, he is in the highest percentile for progressive carries, successful take-ons, progressive passes received, and touches in the opposing penalty area. He is a phenomenal runner on the ball, incredibly hard to get off it with his strength and technical dribbling, an absolute nightmare for any defender he's up against. He draws a lot of fouls simply because at times it's the only way to stop him. He really reminds me of Diego Costa, able to pin, spin and win against opposing defenders. He's not just a willing runner on the ball either. One of his strengths is his eagerness to get into good attacking positions, especially in the box, making runs into the front or back post, and gambling to try and get on the end of things. This, combined with his extreme two-footedness, ability to score from almost impossible angles, and great first-time finishing, makes him one of the world's best goal scorers at this current time. He always knows where the goal is, and more often than not, finds it. Chelsea have been relentlessly scouting the 25-year-old, with staff being sent to monitor him for a 3rd time recently in Sweden's defeat to Portugal in March. With names like Ivan Toney, Victor Osimhen and Benjamin Sesko being thrown around, perhaps the Swedish striker will be the shock signing for Chelsea in the summer. Number 2. Milos Kerkez. Another problem area for Chelsea is at left back, with neither Ben Chilwell nor Marc Cucurella locking down that first team spot, and youth products Ian Maatsen and Lewis Hall being cast to the wayside. With the possibility of 3 of those names leaving Chelsea in the summer, the board will be looking to bring in someone new. Names such as Anthony Robinson and Ryan Ait-Nouri have been floating around, but one name that has gone slightly under the radar is Bournemouth's Milos Kerkez. The Hungarian has been one of the bright lights in an otherwise gloomy Cherries season, with his solid defending in a leaky Bournemouth backline in general standing out in particular. If we take a look at his stats, whilst not overwhelmingly impressive, he does boast some good attributes, being in the 90th percentile for clearances, the 87th for blocks, and the 71st for tackles. Considering the measly amount of minutes he's played this season, just under 1,500, I think that's pretty respectable in his first season in Premier League football for such a weak team. Though he hasn't really been able to show it so far at Bournemouth, the youngster does have a really keen eye for a cross. Despite only having 1 assist for the Cherries, he's shown at previous clubs that he's able to pick out the man in the centre and pitch in with a few goals at times as well. The ex-Milan youth player is rapid across the pitch, both going forward and when recovering, makes a lot of tackles in the defensive third, especially against dribblers, and has a really clean slide tackle in particular. His disciplinary record is rather good too. This season he's only been cautioned 3 times, one of which was for a small spat he had with John Duran whilst he was coming off of the pitch versus Villa, immediately after he had assisted Solanke for a goal. With much more to offer from him in years to come, and whilst his price will be relatively low, this is a player that Chelsea could look to opt for. At only 20 years old, he could definitely become an understudy for our remaining left back, and in time perhaps get into the starting 11, like Malo Gusto did on the opposite side. Number 3. Nico Williams. With Raheem Sterling being a possible departure in the summer, a hole opens up at left wing for a new star to come in and shine, and that star could be Black Stars native Nico Williams. The younger brother of Iñaki has been on a serious tear lately for Athletic Club Bilbao, scoring 6 goals and assisting 13 times in 29 games in all competitions for the Spanish outfit. The tricky winger would be an excellent addition to this young and exciting squad, with the Spaniard providing a certain flair and creativity that we've been lacking on that left-hand side. Taking a brief look at his stats from the last 365 days, in comparison to all wingers in the top 5 leagues, he is in the upper echelons for progressive carries, successful take-ons, progressive passes received, assists and shot creating actions. He's a brilliantly selfish player, and I mean that in a good way, that can drive at opposing defenders and beat them, rather than running into nowhere. If we compare his stats to Raheem Sterling's, who has a similar amount of minutes, both around 2,400, you can see they are similar in function, but the key difference is the ability to successfully beat his marker, and of course, the end product. This is vital to being a good winger in the modern game, and Nico Williams has that. Williams has dragged Bilbao up to 4th place in La Liga so far this season, ahead of teams like Atletico Madrid, Real Betis and Real Sociedad, and are currently on track to win the Copa del Rey in the final against Mallorca, and by the time this video goes out they may have already done that. This is an amazing feat considering it's their highest finish in the last decade, with the club usually finishing between 8th and 10th, and even as low as 16th in the 2017-2018 season. He has the most goal contributions out of anyone in the squad, even more than his own older brother Iñaki Williams and striker Gorka Guruzeta. His influence on the team at such a young age is wonderful to see, and he could end up having a similar impact in the blue of Chelsea, as we have been crying out for a left-sided creative winger ever since Eden Hazard departed. Number 4. Alphonso Davies. Another candidate for the left-back spot, a surprising name that has been doing the rounds is Canadian superstar Alphonso Davies. The self-admitted Chelsea fan has become a target of many recently, as his contract is soon to expire at Bayern Munich in 2025, and he could be the blockbuster name that we've been looking for. His explosive pace, creativity, flair and defensive prowess all add up to one of the truly great fullbacks in modern times, and would seriously transform this Chelsea side. A threat going forward with the recovery pace to get back and do the nitty-gritty too, the 23-year-old has been a revelation since he signed to the German Giants, becoming a 5-time German League champion, 2-time German Cup winner, a 3-time German Super Cup winner, a UEFA Super Cup winner, a FIFA Club World Cup winner, and of course a 1-time Champions League winner. His accolades speak for themselves, and though I don't need to show off his stats for you to know how good he is, I will anyway. It's green across the board in a lot of the stats you want from your attacking left back. Progressive carries, successful take-ons, touches in the opposing penalty area, he attempts and completes a crazy amount of passes for a left back, and the majority of them are progressive passes. However, the one stat I want to specifically point out is that one at the top, shot creating actions. Despite Davies not having the most assists or goals, he is fantastic at creating chances. To explain this stat a little, what this means is that he is creating over 3 opportunities for a shot on goal or a chance per 90 minutes. At Chelsea, we have struggled to go down the left-hand side as our right side is far more creative, and we don't get many chances from the left. Alphonso Davies is a player that could completely flip the script and start making that flank incredibly dangerous, whilst also being a difficult customer to get past in the defensive phase as well. As I briefly mentioned before, he has admitted that if he were to play for any Premier League team, it would be Chelsea, as he watched us growing up as a kid and was a boyhood fan. The desire to play at Chelsea Football Club is something that is starting to be lost considering our poor form, and we should take advantage of this opportunity and strike whilst the iron is hot. Number 5. Jean-Clair Todibo. The least surprising name on this list, Jean-Clair Todibo has been a rumoured Chelsea target for many months now, with the centre-back being another one of those shining French prospects that we've been linked with or have signed in recent times. Currently playing for UGC Nice in Ligue 1, the 24-year-old has been making an impact at the back for the last 2 seasons, with the French outfit currently sporting the best defensive record in the league with only 20 goals conceded so far. They currently sit just outside of top 4, level on points with 4th place Lille because of goal difference. Todibo has been a rock at the back this season, currently having 12 clean sheets in just 22 games he's played so far, contributing to that stat massively with his aggressive defending alongside veteran Brazilian centre-back Dante. If we take a look at his stats, it reflects his playstyle very well. Todibo's main strength is his precise tackling, and in comparison to all centre-backs in the top 5 leagues, he's in the 88th percentile for tackles, as well as the 78th for interceptions. He is a very creative centre-back too, able to progress the team up the pitch with accurate passes, or with some dribbling. After winning the ball, he does like to try and push up the pitch and try to get counter-attacks going, sometimes beating a man as he does. Todibo fits the profile of centre-back that we will most likely need, with Trevor Chalobah and Thiago Silva possibly leaving this summer. An aggressive, strong, tall right-sided defender that's great at winning the ball back, excellent at passing forward, and can create chances through long passes like Levi Colwill can on the opposite side. We'll have to wait and see if Chelsea decide to put a bid in for the Frenchman come this summer transfer window, but if you can't wait for more Chelsea videos like this one, then perhaps check out one of these two videos on screen right now. Thank you guys so much for watching, and remember, in the rain or in the dry, keep that blue flag flying high. Come on, you Blues!